Good morning, everyone. This is Danielle, Vida, and Jessica with ND Out Loud. Today, we're talking about navigating trust and finding the right support because so often we try to find support in all of the wrong places at first because we're just looking for somebody to help, and we don't
Yeah.
necessarily always know how to find the right help. So finding that trust factor with the right help, and a lot of that is because I know Vida and I, being coaches, we've had so many clients that come to us. I've tried going to therapy. I've gone to therapy for like 20, 30 years, and it helped, but it didn't help all of the way, or they didn't help me with
Right.
this, or that, like, we hear that so often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is the high probability that you're going to be taken advantage of uh, for maybe your lack of knowledge or your trusting nature. So it's a hard thing to navigate. Uh, who do I trust? Who do I not trust? Where do I go for support? And so what a lot of people do is, instead of looking for the support, they just shut down and they suck into themselves, and they try to go it alone, and then they burn out, or they find us and we're like, okay, well, you're going to have to start advocating for support.
So what are the biggest kinds of support that we need as neurodivergents? I know all of us are going to say the same thing. Community. We need a group of people who get our brains, because, okay, the three of us found each other last year at Chad, and the amount of messages that we send each other every day, some days, is insane. Until 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, we're messaging each other constantly because
Yeah.
we found the support that we need for our brains.
Yeah.
And is there any subject that is off limits?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't think so.
There
Not
are
with
no
us.
subjects that are off limits. But when it comes to even at work, Jessica, what are some of the biggest things that you have found that are good support at work? Because you have like your ERG.
Yeah, the ERG is is a great community. It's really helped not only educate people, even people that thought they may have be on the spectrum or have ADHD, and giving them just that sounding board to go find the help they need or get the diagnoses they need, and know even if they didn't feel like going and getting a diagnosis, but just how to communicate better with their managers to get their support needs without identifying themselves even. And just learning the language and just having people to talk to. I hear day in and day out that a number of my members say that's the only safe space they have at work, which in part breaks my heart because I want them to have more safe spaces, but at least they know they have a safe space they can come and talk and ask and just feel they have someone that listens. So
And it's part of that is in navigating that trust factor. Having a safe space means that I can go to that safe space and ask them, do I trust this person? Do I buy this app? Do I buy this software?
Right.
Do I order this shirt? Do I, like, because we have a lot from trauma. It's very real trauma in navigating trust factor for all kinds of things. I mean, a phone app, a phone game, a picture on the internet, a article that I read. Is this true? And being able to talk to others, to talk through that process, is such a huge part of one, having safe space, but two, healing and being able to build trust again.
yeah.
Oh, 100%.
100%. And a lot of it is a lot of people on the neurodivergent scale are innately trusting,
Right.
and it's like almost to a fault of ours. And we get hurt because of it. I mean, I know I have been several times
yeah.
in relationships and jobs. And then when you realize what happened, it's just like, then you feel just like, why wasn't I paying attention? Why, and then you question yourself. So you're
Right.
beating yourself up twice. And
then you have RSD that rolls into all of that.
yes.
Yeah.
Ah!
And then you're overwhelmed with the RSD and the anxiety, and then your executive dysfunction crashes, and then you're questioning everything about life, not just this one thing that happened. So, I mean, I know personal experience. I've trusted a business partner that I should have never trusted. And I've done it more than once. So, because I trust people, and poor Vida had to go through the gauntlet with my bestie because my bestie was like, "No, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. No, Danielle, no, 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 no." And then I think she told Vida basically she'd break her kneecaps if she ever did anything. So
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I mean,
but and my husband was the same. I actually have a signed contract with my husband that I'll never take on an actual full 100% 50-50 business partner again. He made me sign a full contract because he knows I'll follow the rules.
Well, and it's just so hard, right? It's so hard not to like, well, this other person screwed me over, but this new person, this completely new person, like they're not going to screw me over. And we always want, and a lot of research out there says that for autistic individuals, like we always see the best in people and we compartmentalize them. So sometimes we don't see the patterns over a whole spectrum when it comes to us. Now, if it's somebody else and we're watching all of it play out, we're like, no, bad dude. That person is not good. But when it comes to us, so like they're just misunderstood, they're a little sarcastic, or and it's like, no, they're being rude.
Well, and I think those of us that are caretakers, and especially in the mental health world, being a coach, being a therapist, all of those things, we're like, well, they have their own trauma. So I can excuse that away instead of looking at it as, no, this has formed them to be who they are. And like, I can't do that for myself. I could do it for Jessica. I could do it for Vida. I could do it for anybody else. So
I read somewhere that we're so aware of our own situation that we apply that logic to other people. And that is one of the reasons we see the best in everyone. Because our kind of standard operating procedure is we're a good person, and we're like, it's kind of like Captain America walking through the world. Like, I'm a good person and I'm doing this. And then when someone else maybe is doing something that's slightly backbitey or not truthful, we don't see it coming because we don't have thoughts like that.
And I think that's to our credit and to our detriment sometimes. Right. So I think the big thing though to know is by having a community that we can go to, and a close-knit community, not like so there are some amazing ADHD, ADHD Facebook groups, but there are 5,000-10,000 people in them. That's not a close-knit group. You choosing a group that's a few hundred people and then creating your little section and space within that group is so important. So important. Because that support thing is going to help you, your life, work, relationships, sex, whatever it is. You're going to be able to find your group of people. Like I have a group of people that I talk to about sex. I have a group of people that I talk to about business. In my case, they happen to be some of the same people. But I have a group of people that I talk to about being married to a straight autistic man that are not. That's not Vida in Jessica, because they don't get that. Vida has an ADHD husband, and Jessica, I don't know if he's ND or not, but but it's a different group. I have a group of people to talk about this, and I grew up off grid. I actually have an off grid group that I still talk to, and I talk about things and stuff because I can, and it's a hyper focus of mine once in a while. And then I have a Disney group that I talk to, and so I have like my own little niche communities for whatever my hyper focus is.
Well, and I think too, you're using that to rely on their perspective. I mean, advice for sure, but their perspective, because like even with clients, right? It's like if you were giving advice to someone else, what would you say? Because we can show up for other people, we can give good advice for other people. We just have a hard time doing it for ourselves because we're too close emotionally to the situation. And so I love those niche communities. I love our community at large because I can get everyone's perspective if I'm brave enough to ask for it. And it takes time to build that.
It does take time to build that.
Yeah.
So the other part of it is understanding how to, it's that support that we need, but it's understanding that those people are going to see the red flags in something, someone online, don't order from this online store, they're a scammer, like having support in all of those things, because again, we don't necessarily see those red flags. But Jessica, when it comes to being, because I'm no longer in corporate, when it comes to being in corporate, how does that help you stay on steady career trajectory and growth, having that support?
It definitely helps, and I do have, because we have teams in our organization, and I do have different managers that I know to go to for different information, or even different colleagues to bounce, things that I've received or heard, and to try to add, and it's having those groups and knowing who to go to, or even if you just need to, vent, is having someone in your own organization that you can do that to. It's just like, because different, it's that RSD thing, and different policies come out or different things happen within an organization, and you don't want to go run to the wrong person and be like, oh my god, I can't believe this is going on. You need to have those groups that are trusting that it's going to stay between XYZ, and just let you vent that out. And that's why it's important for organizations to have employee resource groups, to have community groups, to give employees that, because you don't want them taking all of that home, because number one, your home, come out and just be like, okay, and why are you bringing home, work to home?
Right.
So yeah, you need that in an organization to be able to, bounce things off and get that worked out, and figure out, if it's if enough people are like, yeah, this is an issue, and then be able to know, hey, where's the next step that we can go talk to someone more about this. So that's important for an organization to run smoothly. Wow.
It is. And the other part that makes all of this important is being able to recognize those red flags. So I'm going to talk, because I know coaching industry, because this is where I live. Red flags in the coaching industry is you see somebody's profile say one thing, but the things that they're talking about in their articles or the posts are completely different than what their profile says. That's a red flag. Watch for those red flags. If you're in a group, if you're looking for your community and tribe, and you're finding all, and this is really typical, especially when you're struggling with neurodivergence or mental health issues and stuff, that you find all negative, like all people do is come there to complain. Nobody actually helps each other. That's actually a red flag, and that's not a good, healthy space to be for us as a neurodivergent, because we need to see success stories. We need to be able to help each other, and find the help that we need. So if it's consistently negative, that's a red flag. If you're at work, if you're looking for help, but people gaslight you,
Big time.
that's a red flag. Or people are ableist. And I'm going to let Jessica explain what this means a bit, because she just has a much better way of saying it than I do. So explain what ableism is.
So ableism is when you get feedback of, well, just deal with it, just suck it up, just pull up your panties, and it's brushing off what's going on in someone's life, and especially when it's toward a disability. It's like and I hate even saying this one. Well, isn't everyone a little ADHD? Oh. Yeah, it's like, okay, there goes my hair on my arms. or my other one, when I'm opening up to someone and telling them that I'm ADHD and autistic. Well, you don't look autistic. I'm like,
yeah.
I literally come back and my skin's supposed to be purple or green. Did I miss a cue here? Like, and it's having the strength to come back when you do hear those things. Is saying, there is not a look to autism. There is not one ADHD way. And no, we're not all a little ADHD. Yes, every individual is unique. That doesn't mean everybody has ADHD or has autism.
Right.
There is key points to getting that diagnosis. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. But you can't just say everyone is or no one is, or it's taking the extremes on anything.
And it's something I'm hearing more and more. Well, if everybody's getting diagnosed with ADHD, then everybody has it. And I'm like, do you know how hard it is to get diagnosed with ADHD or autism? Yeah, this is not an easy diagnosis to get, especially if you're female. This is not easy to get. So don't give me, but all of those phrases are red flag phrases. A coach that tells you just save money, just get a planner, just do if they're an ADHD coach and telling you to just do anything, red flag, red flag, red flag. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and that goes back to uniqueness, because that may work just at this moment, but that's the knowing the flex of, having neurodivergent is we could be on our A game one day and our F game the next day, and
we live in that curve, as Vida says. We don't always live up here. We don't always live down here. We're somewhere in the middle. Some days we're good, some days don't. So make sure that when you are looking to hire somebody, looking to get a job somewhere, looking to find your community, that you're looking for some of these things and you're finding the right support for you. And I am an ADHD coach, and I'm an ADHD coach, and I am going to tell you I am damn good at what I do, but I may not be good for you. You might need somebody else. Yeah. Any coach that says, well, I can fix you, or I can make you better, or I can cure you, that's another red flag, first of all. But there is no one person that is good for everyone, because a coaching relationship and a community relationship is really based on what your needs are and what your comfort level with those people are. So make sure that you build that comfort level, because if you're not comfortable and you don't feel 100% safe, as Vida says, you need to be safe, seen, and heard. If you can't be all of those things, then you're not in the right space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I hope you have an amazing day. If you have questions, if you're looking for communities, we have our community. Obviously, we have a paid version and a free version, but we have the ADHD support group that Vida works with, and there are a few other paid ones online. We are happy to share resources with you, even if they aren't our resources. So reach out. Ask the question if you're really struggling, if you are really frustrated, if you are feeling beaten down because you've tried a few things and had your trust broken too many times. Reach out and ask, because the three of us, our links are in the bio. Please just reach out to us, because we are more than willing to help, even if we aren't the right fit. We want you to have the right fit. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Happy 4th of July for anybody watching this the first week of July in 2024.
I know, it's like boom is there.
This year's already halfway over.
Have an amazing day, everyone.